I live in my camper, and I've got a lot of hacks and a lot of advice to give because I've learned the hard way after almost 2 years of living in my camper what you do need, what you don't need, what you should look for when you buy one. Mine was given to me, so I'm not complaining. I'm thankful, but I want to give you guys advice so you know going into it what you should and shouldn't do. So, first things first, if you do decide to buy a camper or you want to live in your camper that you currently have, make sure it's what you're going to be comfortable being in full time. So when I got mine given to me, I didn't think about that stuff. My bedroom is essentially my bed, and there's a walkway on either side. My kitchen is tiny. It has a very little counter space. It's the sink and the stovetop and the oven, and that is it. And I have a microwave above the oven that doesn't work because I'm poor and I didn't fix it. And I have a smaller refrigerator, 12 volt, I think is what it's called. You can run it on propane, electricity, or whatever. And I hate it. I hate it. I wish I would have thought of that before I moved in. And I have a huge bunk room with 4 bunks in it that I do not use. So that is like about 6 feet of wasted space because I don't have kids with me, living with me. It's just me and my husband. So what I do have back there, since I don't have counter space, is my crock pot, the microwave that does work because I can't afford to take the microwave that's above it off because it's one of those expensive ones that are connected to the light and the fan that you have to push the button on the microwave to work the light and the fan. I can't afford to fix that and change that. So I have a microwave in my bunk room that is set. I took the bunk bed, I took the mattress off and set it on the bunk. And I put my crock pot back there, my air fryer back there, and a bunch of appliances that I can't sit in the kitchen because there's no counter space. So I use that way. And my bunk room is used as storage. So that's another thing. Make sure in my bathroom, make sure the bathroom's good sized. Mine's so small that I could probably take a shower and go to the bathroom at the same time and wash my hands while I'm at it because it's so small. I barely have enough room to sit. My feet touch the tub, and there's it's right up against the sink, so it's not comfortable. So make sure you get a bathroom that's big. Make sure you get a decent sized kitchen that has a decent sized refrigerator. Otherwise, you're gonna be wishing you had. You're gonna be like, I regret this. I don't regret the camper because I got it given to me. I regret not thinking it through before I moved into it. That's what I regret. So, what I would take from this is make sure that you're comfortable in the camper. First of all, don't just move in and think, oh yeah, it's perfect. No, make sure you're comfortable. Make sure it's not leaking. That's another mistake I made. Make sure it's not leaking. So you fix that first. Fix any damage that's got done to it before you move into it. Make sure the kitchen's bigger. Or if you can I live with my kitchen being small. I can do it. I can cook. I can do all the things because I put a cutting board over the stovetop, and when I'm not using the stove, that's where that cutting board sits. And when I do my dishes, I put a towel over that cutting board and put my dishes on that. And when I'm cooking, I'd slide the cutting board over to the sink, and that gives me a little bit more counter space. So I know how to make it work. But like I said, make sure it's something that fits your needs. Make sure. Especially if you're buying it. Pay a little bit extra just to have that extra comfort. But if it's given to you and you don't, you're like me, make sure you're comfortable. I wish I would have redone mine before I moved into it. Like, fix things, change things around. But I didn't. Here I am 2 years later. I make it work. And I'm not complaining because I love my camper. But that's my advice. You're welcome.